Mark, what's the feeling been like around the club this morning after such a positive result for 3/4 yesterday, but unfortunately getting run over?
Yeah, just a little bit disappointed. We put in a pretty good effort for probably 3.5 quarters and sort of let ourselves down with the end result. But we're pretty happy with most of our effort, but still got a little bit to improve on.
What's been the talk amongst the teammates as to why that sort of changed in the final quarter?
We haven't really spoken about it too much amongst each other, to be honest. Been through a few clips so far this morning and just had a little meeting, but haven't had the chance to fully get around to everyone. But sort of half looking forward to Sydney now. So can't wait for that one.
What's going to be needed to be able to beat Sydney?
I think 4/4 effort will be the key. I think we've been around the mark with our intensity for patches in games in probably the past month, but coming up against the reigning premiers, I think it's going to take a 4/4 effort.
Could we see a bit of a tackle fest and even more congested than yesterday, the way they play as well?
I think it's definitely going to be a similar game. I think Sydney like to get numbers around the footy, so it's definitely going to be a similar game to what it was on the weekend. So hopefully we can take something out of that and improve on it. And I think there'll be a fair few tackles.
To add a bit of depth to what you can offer them, what chances are there of Shuey and Kerr and Butler? Quite a few boys that are on the brink of coming back. Have you got any early recon on them?
Not really. I think most of them have got to get through a fair bit of training this week before we can sort of make a call on them. I would expect one or two of them to be available, but not quite sure yet. They've still got a fair bit to get through.
A couple of years ago, it's always when West Coast plays Sydney, it's always the grand final rivalry, replays, all that type of stuff. Is that kind of dwindled away now and just another two teams, or do you still sense there's a bit of that rivalry going on between the two?
To be honest, that was always a bit of an external sort of build-up. We always try and get ourselves up for every game, but we know Sydney are a great opposition, so we know we're going to get what we're going to get every time we play them. It's going to be a pretty tight and physical contest, so I'd expect the same sort of intensity that was in those games will hopefully be there this weekend.
Have you seen their season just as a whole?
To be honest, I haven't watched a whole lot of them, but they're a great side, so we know what we're going to get. They've got a lot of great players and play a pretty physical game, so it's going to be a good challenge.
You've had a pretty big month. Is this the ultimate test now, Sydney?
I think every weekend's a pretty big test for us, especially where we're at the moment. I think the last month we've played some really good sides, and it's been good. I've enjoyed the challenge. I know everyone's enjoyed playing the best side, so just looking forward to another week of it.
How's your body holding up at the moment, Mark?
Yeah, feels good, mate. So looking forward to hopefully playing out the rest of the year.
Do you feel strong and you feel like you've gotten your best fitness back, given the time you've spent out, your problem with your arm, that sort of thing?
I feel off running wise and all the rest of it. I feel pretty good. Still a fair few areas, obviously, coming off having a year off that I'm still trying to tidy up on. But my body's feeling good at the moment.
And you feel like you're starting to get your accuracy back, kicking for goal and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean that's something that I'm constantly working on. So have your games where you miss a few, but even when you're kicking them, you still got to keep practicing. So hopefully I can sort of keep working on that and not miss too many more.
Bizarre as it may be, like the arm guard and a lot of people have talked about in the early stages of the year, I guess. Are you getting used to that now, and has it bothered you at all at times?
Not really. I mean, I cut it down probably 6 weeks ago, so it's pretty lightweight and everything else, so it's not really bothering me at the moment. So I'll probably have to play with it for the rest of the year, so no, I don't think about it too much.
Are you still playing with any pain in your arm at the moment?
Oh, every now and then, but nothing major.
Just back on your arm guard, there was that theory floating about that it was affecting your accuracy. What did you make of that? Did you have a laugh about that, or is there any truth?
I think when I started missing a few, I started that rumour, so I was just trying to pass it on.
When you're preparing a player saying it's just won by 20 goals, is there any thought process that you can catch them on the hop after such an easy win?
Not when it's a Sydney. I don't think they're a pretty professional side, so I think they're going to prepare towards us as they would any other side, and we'll do the same from here. So I don't think they're going to come in ahead of themselves. I think they're a great side, and we can't wait to play them.
And in the context of the season and where you sit on the ladder at the moment, can you talk us through how important this game is to the finals hopes and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, every game for us is really important. I'm not too up to date with where we are on the ladder or anything percentage-wise, but I mean, we need to win every game. We're going to go into every game now looking at it as if we need to win it. So it's going to be a massive challenge. We want to play the best sides, and we get that opportunity this week.
Just on Mark Nicosi, obviously not good news overnight that he's going yesterday. And how's he travelling? I mean, obviously not playing at the moment. You guys rallied around him just to keep him going?
Yeah, mate, he's had a horrible run with injury the past 2 years. But, you know, he's a great guy. He's been in and around the club and he's really positive. So it's good to see his face back in the club at the moment. But, yeah, I mean, we're trying to support him as much as we can.
Having been at the club for a while now, we saw Adam Carter debut on the weekend. That next group of young players coming through, how excited are you about their potential?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I suppose one positive that we get with having a few injuries is we get to blood a few young guys, and it adds to our depth. So we've got some exciting young guys coming through now, which is good, and I'm sure it'll help us in the future.
What's the mood, Mark? You've almost played your best footy for the year over the last 4 weeks. You got one win to show for it. Are you encouraged or frustrated by all that?
You're never happy to lose, but I think we're heading in the right direction. I think the attitude over the past month and the intensity that we've played our footy at has been exciting. I think it's much more enjoyable playing in those games where you're in sort of for 4 quarters, and even if you don't get the result you're after, but you know the effort was there. There's something to take out of that game. So I mean, we're just looking forward to doing it for the rest of the year. So hopefully we can put up 4-quarter efforts for the rest of the year and not have those 10-minute lapses like we did on the weekend.
So the attitude is sort of like show up, do that, and the result will be what the result is, basically.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Is what we can control is the way we go about our own footy. So we just have to rock up on match day and give it all we got and play with the best intensity that we can, and hopefully we can get a win.